When Emily walked through the door that night, her perfume reached me before she did. It wasn't the fragrance she normally wore, not the light vanilla I had bought her last Christmas, but something stronger, muskier, clinging to her like it belonged to someone else. She smiled faintly when she saw me sitting on the couch, as if she hadn't expected me to still be awake. "Hey," she said casually, dropping her heels by the door. Girls' night ran a little late. Her voice was too smooth, too rehearsed. I studied her closely, her flushed cheeks, the way she avoided my eyes, the faint smudge of lipstick that wasn't in the place it was supposed to be. For months, I had been collecting pieces of a puzzle she thought she was clever enough to hide. Tonight, that puzzle was finally complete. "Girls' night?" I repeated softly, setting my glass down. "That's what we're calling it?" She blinked, her smile faltering. "What do you mean?" "Of course. We were at the bar downtown, me, Jessica, and Claire. You know them." I nodded slowly, but my calmness wasn't for her benefit. It was for mine. I had spent too long pacing through restless nights, wondering if my instincts were betraying me. Tonight, I no longer needed to wonder. "Funny," I said, leaning forward, "because Jessica's been in Denver for a week visiting her parents. And Claire? She posted a photo an hour ago, at home watching Netflix. Alone." Her lips parted, but no words came out. She froze, the way a child does when caught with candy in their hand after denying they ever touched the jar. "Emily," I continued, keeping my tone even, "I told myself I wouldn't be the kind of man who snoops, but when you started coming home late, when you kept saying your phone died every time you were out, when you smelled like cologne I don't own, I had no choice. So I looked, and what I found was exactly what I feared." Her voice cracked when she finally spoke. You went through my phone?" I almost laughed at the irony. That was her defense? The betrayal wasn't that she had given herself to another man. It was that I dared to uncover it. "I didn't need to," I replied. "You left it in the kitchen last week. And his name was right there on the screen. Mark. I didn't even have to scroll." Her eyes darted away, her hand gripping the strap of her purse, as if she could clutch her lies tightly enough to keep them from spilling out. "James, it's not." "Don't lie to me again," I interrupted sharply, my calm finally cracking. "You looked me in the eye for months and told me I was imagining things. You kissed me goodnight with his taste still on your lips. Do you understand what that does to a man?" Her silence said everything. For years, I had built my life around her. Early mornings at work, overtime shifts, dinners I rushed home to cook when she said she was too tired, anniversaries she forgot while I planned every detail. I thought marriage was about sacrifice. I thought love meant endurance. But what I endured was humiliation, dressed up as loyalty. Tonight, though, the endurance ended. She stepped closer, her voice soft, almost pleading. "James, listen. I can explain." I shook my head. "No, Emily. Tonight you'll listen. You'll listen to the man who loved you more than his own pride. The man who trusted you even when his gut screamed otherwise. The man who is done being lied to." Her breathing grew shallow, and for the first time in years, I saw fear in her eyes. Not because she worried I'd raise a hand against her, but because she realized I wasn't the same man she'd been deceiving. I stood, pulling something from under the coffee table. The envelope was thick, heavy with truth. I handed it to her without a word. She opened it with trembling hands, her face draining of color as she flipped through the photos, the printed messages, the undeniable proof of every betrayal she thought she had hidden. When she finally looked back at me, her voice was barely a whisper. What is this?" "It's everything," I said. "Every lie you told. Every night you thought I was too naive, too trusting, too blind. But I see you clearly now." Her body slumped against the couch, eyes wide, mouth open, but no sound escaping. For the first time in our marriage, Emily had nothing to say. And I had everything I needed. Emily sat there frozen. The proof spread across her lap like shards of glass she couldn't touch without bleeding. For the first time in months, she didn't have a rehearsed excuse. No half-hearted smile to cover the truth. Just silence. I let the moment stretch, heavy and suffocating. Then I said quietly, You probably think I'm going to scream, throw things, maybe even beg you for answers. That's what you expect, isn't it? Her lips parted, but no sound came. Instead, I walked to the hallway and returned with a small leather box. She looked at it, confused, as I set it on the coffee table between us. This, I said, sliding it toward her, is the one thing you never expected. Her trembling hands opened the box, and her breath hitched when she saw what lay inside. Our wedding rings, hers and mine, carefully polished, placed side by side. I had them resized last year, I explained calmly. You complained yours was too tight. I thought it would be a nice surprise, a reminder of our vows. But then I realized, a ring means nothing if the promise is already broken. Tears welled in her eyes, but I didn't stop. For months, I convinced myself it was stress. That's why you pulled away, why you flinched when I touched you, why laughter died between us. I told myself we'd get through it. But marriage doesn't survive on one person's hope. And I won't wear a symbol of something that no longer exists. Her voice cracked, desperation seeping through. James, please, it was a mistake. I don't love him, it didn't mean. I raised a hand to silence her. It meant enough for you to sneak out, to lie, to spit on everything we built. Love isn't measured in excuses. It's measured in choices. And every choice you made screamed that I wasn't enough for you. She tried to reach for me, but I stepped back. You know what hurts most, Emily? Not the betrayal itself. Not even the lies. It's the fact that you underestimated me. You thought I'd never find out. That I'd just keep playing the fool while you lived two lives. You didn't just cheat on me. You erased me from the marriage without even asking if I wanted to stay. Her tears fell harder, but I felt nothing. The grief I once feared had already burned through me, leaving only clarity in its ashes. I walked to the mantel, where a framed photo of our wedding day sat. Two young people smiling like forever was a promise carved in stone. I set it gently on the table beside the rings. You wanted freedom, I said, my voice firm. Tonight you have it. I won't fight you. I won't chase you. And I won't let you drag me into the ruins you created. She sobbed openly now, words spilling out between gasps. James, please, we can fix this. I'll end it, I'll do whatever it takes. Just don't walk away. For a moment, I almost pitied her. But then I remembered the nights I lay awake, staring at the empty side of the bed, wondering why I wasn't enough. Pity dissolved, replaced by resolve. I already walked away, Emily, I said softly. The moment you chose him over us, I was gone. Tonight is just me giving you the courtesy of knowing it. Her body shook with silent cries, but I no longer carried the weight of them. I picked up my jacket from the chair, slipped it on, and headed for the door. Where are you going? She choked out. I paused, hand on the doorknob, and turned to face her one last time. To start living a life that doesn't revolve around lies. Her sobs filled the silence as I stepped outside. The night air was cold, crisp, almost cleansing. For the first time in years, my chest didn't feel heavy. The chains of doubt and humiliation were gone, replaced with something I hadn't felt in a long time. Freedom. As I walked toward my car, I thought about the irony. She expected anger, a fight, maybe even forgiveness she didn't deserve. But what she never expected was the one thing that mattered most. Peace. And it wasn't hers to keep. It was mine.